Our reporters have been covering this extensively throughout the morning, dealing with the issues of corruption on the ground. In fact, Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula joins me now. Minister, thank you for joining us at eNCA, but I want to first zoom in on that issue of corruption. We hear that almost all these TLTCs are ineffective when it comes to your agents on the ground accepting the bribes, well, in order to get forward and essentially getting these bribes. It looks like your department is not serious about these, given that we hardly see any arrests.
No arrests are there. I think they are there. We arrest them. But we will need media to come with us when these criminals are arrested. And there's also been successful convictions and so on in relation to this, because that will act also as a deterrent. But I will not come to the people of South Africa and lie and say everything is hunky-dory. It is not. And henceforth, we give ourselves time to push back the backlog, but to intervene decisively and make it something of the past, the challenge of corruption in relation to the online system being intercepted by corruption, buying of slots and all of that. So we are pushing that back in terms of our interventions.
What are you doing differently now till the 31st of March to make sure that you have a more efficient online system? Because the people are saying that they're being failed, essentially.
Like, for instance, where we are now at Eco Park in Gauteng, we have increased the capacity to ensure that we deal with the backlog, and the capacity we're talking about 30 or plus thousand absorption of capacity and pushing back the backlog weekly and 7 days a week, increasing the capacity, ensuring that particularly in Gauteng, through the RTMC, working with the provincial government, we increase the capacity by way of ensuring that we have extra TLTCs, like where we are now at Eco Park. These are some of the things that we will be doing. So we are certain that the backlog will be something of the past by March next year. And that is why we then intervene by saying renewal will now be extended to next year by March, to give the motorist an opportunity, but equally ourselves to push back give ourselves time to push back the backlog.
Will there be any reliefs for the driving schools, for example, that are saying that they've been suffering from the 26th of March, given the delays in the system and the system's not operating?
Yes, driving schools will be given reprieve as well in terms of the new directions that we will be issuing.
Okay, just last, I also want to zoom back to that issue of corruption. Gauteng says it's only taking it seriously now, setting up a team, and in fact, to look into it. I mean, is this an indication of really taking it seriously? Are there arrests that we can see in the future?
There will be arrest. Criminals in the system, we've got an appointment with them. The issue is a big matter. It's a big issue because it affects service delivery. But how you push back corruption is also sharpen your systems and making it a point that those who are corrupt don't make it easy for them and to just have an easy day. And that is what is important. So some of the interventions in the reboot that we are implementing now, you will see with time that we might not eradicate corruption to zero, but will make it impossible for the corrupt elements to have an easy day like they do at the present moment. It has been with us for a very long time. So we come to a point where we say, not enough, it is enough, but how in the rebooting of the system we make it impossible for them to gain ground and manipulate the system and making it impossible, because literally, because people want to have driver's licenses, they have to bribe. But we are saying, work with us in this compact, do not bribe, but we'll make it easy for you to access the system. So it's a two-way process. Government cannot win alone, but government must make it impossible for the criminals. But at the same time, our people must also come to the party, because when you bribe, you make it easy for the system to be corrupted.
Okay, thank you very much. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula saying that it's a two-way thing when it comes to the bribing that's quite rampant within these TLCs as people try to acquire their license. Those extensions for the 1.2 million people that are yet to renew their license that have expired been pushed back till the 31st of March next year.
All right, thank you for that. That's eNCA senior journalist Aviwe Mtila there updating us on that process and the extension of the deadline for the renewal of driver's licenses. And there'll be many people who are heaving a sigh of relief this afternoon. Well.